Revs ride, clutches, bit of a jump off the front row of the grid there. Well,
Luke
not a
Burgess,
jump start, but the front wheel went skyward and they had to get out of the throttle, and that might cost him a little ground.
Well, Luke Burgess hasn't got the flying start that we normally associate with him in this Kawasaki Insurance Ninja 300 Cup, and had to play second fiddle to Jack Dawes as the entry of turn one. But it is now Luke Burgess and Paul Young that are going to lead them down. He's at Hunter Ford up the inside into third place as well. In fact, he's going to go up the inside of Burgess. That's very tight on the exit of turn two. In fact, Luke Burgess is a big loser there. He's probably lost 2 or possibly even 3 positions on the exit through turn 3 because it was so tight. Look at Dawes on the outside of Hunter Ford, and Jason Martin as well, on bike 387.
The inside for 4th position. Youngie getting away here, obviously no ill effects from that tumble that he had a little bit earlier today in the Super Sport category. Oh, very, very wide there. That must have been it's Stuart Green or Jake Pettigrew, very wide out of turn 5 there, down the Kawasaki back straight. The field streams through turn 6.
There's Keegan Pickering as well on board bike number 329, making her way through.
This is race tech turn 8. There's corporate. Head down to JT turn 9.
You can see the Computime boys checking out every row of the grid to make sure that no one has received a jump start penalty.
No, I think there was just some miscreant wheel stands there that cost a couple of people the time off the grid. I don't think anybody actually jumped it, but we'll wait for the official adjudication on that. Jack Dawes there, so number 315. He was 4th in the previous bout here this afternoon, but it is Paul Young that is streaking away from the field. Oh, we do have a jump start penalty, Phil. Rider number 369, Mark Rogers, who is currently running in 12th place. He'll score a 15-second jump start penalty.
I think you'll find that he's the rider on a blue and white machine, like 369. There's a bit of movement there in a few of the bikes, and I think he may have been one of the ones that was pinged with the jump start penalty. There goes the leg flap from Luke Burgess as they make their way down in towards turn 2. Aggressive moves there on the gear shifter to get the bike back down through the gears. Late on the brakes, but Hunter Ford now got his sights set on Paul Young, who leads this race.
He's actually pulling a bit of ground back on him, I think. It's certainly pulled back a couple of bike lengths since probably about 3 or 4 turns ago.
Mitch Cavney also having a pretty good ride, sitting there in 4th place on bike number 375. Luke Burgess has got a bit of work to do. Oh, how was the speed through there from Luke Burgess? He was almost off the track and over the edge of the ripple strip. But Martin now is right onto the back of Mitch Cavney as well, who is physically so well suited to riding these little 300s. He can origami himself up behind that screen, and there's virtually no wind resistance at all. One of the shorter riders in this class, coming down, trying to go up the inside of Jack Dawes on bike number 315 as they make their way through JT Sprocket's corner.
So how well
onto the Dunlop Straight.
How well was this Hunter Ford kid doing here this afternoon? What do you know of his background, Phil?
No, former dirt tracker, Trev. Done a bit of time in dirt tracking. Only been riding the road bikes for a very short amount of time. Done a little bit of junior racing.
And whereabouts does he hail from exactly? I know he's from New South Wales. But
from Western Sydney, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
And that's why he's been taken on by the Colin Kawasaki team.
He's certainly impressing here this weekend.
He's got a bit of an eye for talent and loves helping out the young riders.
He's right all over Yummy. I think as they come down the chute this time of year, he's going to maybe even pop up the inside into turn 1. And he does so.
I think probably the other thing that's helped him is he's riding his own motorcycle at the first couple of rounds, but just having the team to bounce things off, someone to help him out with setup, what he wants to try and relay to the team at the end of it, and them able to adjust the motorcycle accordingly.
Well, he's up against one very wily veteran here, so he might be learning a few lessons here this afternoon.
The other thing is, though, the confidence he's obviously got now in the setup of that motorcycle, because they've had Ben White developing the motorcycle, they know what settings work. And obviously those settings are working an absolute treat for Hunter Ford. The confidence he's got to run into the corners as hard as he is shows that whatever Mark Watson and the team are doing down there at Colin Kawasaki is obviously working for young Hunter Ford.
I think Mitch Cavney's having his best hit out here at the weekend so far too.
Certainly in this race, he's got that bike absolutely flying. He's leading that second group now, and he's sitting in 3rd place outright.
Inside goes Youngie. Oh, he's taking no prisoners, is the young bloke.
And Paul Young will be loving this. He will be loving it. We know
he'd be loving it more if he wins.
But the other thing was that you saw last year when he's involved in those tight tussles with Brandon Demery and Kyle Buckley at the Ballaslar round.
Had some dust-ups with Demery.
But Paul Young was loving it. Brandon Demery was getting all uptight, about the whole thing, whereas Hunter Ford should be using this as a learning experience. You're not going to get anyone that knows.
I don't know
more
about
tricks.
learning experience. I think he's teaching Youngie a thing or two.
Well, I don't know if he'd be teaching him a thing or two, but he'd be learning how to keep a very wily, experienced campaigner at bay. That's what he's learning at the moment.
The Youngie's just going to tuck in behind him through turn 12 for the long run down the Swan Insurance main straight, which seems to take forever on one of these little 42 horsepower parallel twin 296cc Kawasaki's.
Paul Young wrote the book of tricks when it comes to crafty racing. There goes Paul Young back in front as they make their way down the straight. The importance of the slipstream in Kawasaki Ninja 300
The young
Cup
bloke going to do him at turn 1.
His corner speed
around
through
the outside.
Corners is unbelievable, especially turn 1, turn 2. Look at the run into turn 2. Obviously not scared to get out on the marbles there. Comes around the outside.
Is he going to try and switch to the inside? No chance. He sweeps round. Just keep the Youngie actually gets sucked in there and runs a little bit wide himself. So perhaps both of them just leaving their break to the last desperate. This is the last lap forward in this short race. So about over 2 kilometres to go. The Spinal FX 300 Ninja bout. I don't think. Who will take the round win today?
I think Hunter Ford would have to be right up there with the point scores so far. He's had a first and a second so far, and he's on track for a first and a second.
Hunter Ford will take. I think Hunter Ford will take the round win even if he finishes second. So fantastic.
Luke Burgess with a little bit of work to do. He's got to try and get past the very rapid Mitch Cavney at the moment, and also Jack Dawes on bike number 315. So Burgess trying to maintain that championship lead at the moment. What he's got to make sure Luke Burgess does is finish.
Definitely.
Rather than get sucked into some shenanigans on the last lap and not get that Kawasaki Motor Finance machine over the line to take as many points as he can.
It is the young bloke that leads, so
and look at the lead
leads on track. He has pulled about 4/10 of a second. So
in fact, he has got enough lead, Trev, that it may be a bit hard for Paul Young to get the slipstream in enough time to actually drag his way past. Oh no, he's had a look over his shoulder. Youngie's caught up. Youngie has a look over his shoulder as well. That may have penalised
side by side.
It is a drag race to the line.
Hunter Ford goes back in the slipstream. He won't have a chance to pop out again. So Youngie gets it. So the last 2 victories of the day goes to Youngie, but I think the round win will go to young Hunter Ford. So we have an under 20 competitor taking the outright round win here on Sunday's third round of the Swan Australasian FX Superbike Championship. This is, of course, the fantastic Kawasaki Insurance's Ninja FX 300 Cup. The results, 7/100ths of a second, the gap between Paul Young and Hunter Ford. The old veteran versus the young stager, and Jack Dawes, another fairly young rider, getting well up there as well.
And second place in the under-20s. Mitch Cavney, best result of the weekend for him so
Luke Burgess
far.
will be a little bit disappointed with that 5th. I mean, he's playing the long game for points and all the rest of it. So, he's still had a good weekend in that regard. But I don't think you'll be enjoying finishing 5th.
Keegan Pickering continuing her good performances this weekend. Our leading lady in 12th position, just ahead of Stuart Green, who had been our leading FOB rider for most of the races this weekend.
Yes.
Where he gets a point. I think he's been promoted 1 position, means that jump start penalties for
hard to get a smile out of
back
Paul
there in
Young
the field.
lately. I've got to tell you,
See
he's
Brandon Demery in shot there with the Noise Guard Racing shirt. Congratulates young Jack Dawes. As you see, fielding out of pit lane there will be the Superbikes. They'll be out for their 2 warmation laps. The new word that we've invented here this weekend is a combination of a formation lap and warm-up lap. We're going to put it in the words to be included in the Oxford English Dictionary 2016 edition.
So results after penalties applied taking place at the moment, and we'll have confirmation of those results in just a moment. The only thing that we can definitely guarantee is that Paul Young has won the race, and I'm sure that he's down there very eager to talk to Lance after that one.
Well, Paul Young, congratulations, a fantastic effort out there. How big was the smile on your face when the youngster actually got in front of you and allowed you to slipstream into the line?
Yeah, well, it probably should have stayed behind me until the last lap, because I could see I was getting on to the start-finish straight a bit better, and after the first interlude with him, I thought that's the best place to be on the last lap.
Well done, congratulations. You've had mixed fortunes over.